It's 11:31 a.m. on Wednesday, the 27th. So, told you in my earlier video I was going to come live, and I'm live again. Here I am. It's a little bit exhausting, but I'm also excited for it every day. I'm so excited that I kind of feel like I need to play that Leonard Cohen song, Everybody Knows, when I start the live. Everybody knows that the dice are loaded. Everybody knows, right? And that makes me think of the old Christian Slater movie, Pump Up the Volume, right here. And he starts his his radio show each evening. He starts that Leonard Cohen song. It's actually kind of cool. It's kind of epic. I am not that cool for sure, but I mean, if I can get a 10th of what Christian Slater did in this movie to be cool, I mean, that's always nice. So today we're talking gigs and hustles. So there's side gigs, side hustles, your part-time job, your part-time business, your freelancing, those sorts of things. Put your questions in the comments. I will try to answer them as they come in. As always, I don't trust the technology, so I'm going to see. It is showing on LinkedIn that I've gone live. Hopefully a bunch of people got a bunch of messages saying, Ian's going live. Go follow him. And then looking at YouTube. YouTube is also showing I'm going live. So that's excellent. Excellent. And I had the live on Monday. YouTube says 9 people viewed it. I don't know if that means they viewed everything or if they just viewed the first 10 seconds. But my Tuesday, the Indigenous Allyship, said there was 13 views. Monday's live was 2 hours. Yesterday's live was only an hour and a half. Because my wife's working in the office, so when she came back up to start after lunch, I just shut her down early. So we might go an hour and a half today also, just because she'll be coming back to her desk. That's fine. It's all fine. Everybody's okay. So, I got an email message from myself saying that I've gone live on YouTube. Very cool. I think that's going to my followers on YouTube, which is, I think, like 41 subscribers on YouTube. It's a very big audience. And that's, these numbers kind of matter to me because I have been freelancing and I've been dabbling in the different gigs and side hustles and affiliate marketing and all this sort of stuff. I've been learning. For the last forever. I have been trying to make money online since probably about 1997. When the original, there was all community advertising or something like that. And what you did was you purposely put this bar on the bottom of your browser that would show banner ads. So your goal was to just surf the internet as much as possible and get other people to surf the internet as much as possible because there was banner ads showing up in your browser while you were on the internet. This is kind of like pre Google ads and other banner ad systems. So this was a long time ago. And I tried to make that work. That didn't work. That absolutely didn't work for me. And we've gone through these iterations of the internet that I feel like I've missed all these iterations. You know, Gary Vee talks about the different things that he was doing and the things he missed. You know, like Google ads. That was big in the mid 2000s, right? And they were cheap and you could actually get some traction. And then of course we got YouTube, and then blog, you know, before that blogging got really big. I think 2003 or something like that. Blogging got really big, and you could get a lot of traffic from Google if you had a lot of blogs. And I feel like I just kept missing all this stuff. You know, I've tried blogging over the last, I think, 3-4 years. Excuse me. And I'm getting no traction. And I've tried these other things. I'm getting no traction. And the problem is, I just didn't do anything long enough. I gave up. I was a real giver-upper. I gave up after, you know, when I think about blogging, I would do 20 blogs and leave it at that and think, wow, it's not working. I know that to be successful in blogging, you needed hundreds of blogs, 300 to 500 blogs on your website. But Google recently, just this in the past year, 2 years here, they've made all kinds of helpful changes. So these legit bloggers who are giving value suddenly lost all their traffic. So I had this feeling like, well, I missed it. I missed out on that opportunity. And I started my YouTube, and I'm like, let's start making videos. And it seemed like such a task. I was trying to do 2 or 3 videos a week or something like that. And it seemed hard. Record it, edit it, upload it, do the thumbnail and all this stuff. And it seemed hard. And I kept misfiring. I would do, you know, again, 10, 20 videos and then leave it for 6 months and come back and try to revive it. And it just didn't work. The consistency wasn't there. And there's just, you know, there were so many little things that I could give up on. And I think about when I turned 18, I joined Amway because of a good presentation that convinced me that I could make money with Amway. And I was around people that were actually making money with Amway. And yes, it's a legal pyramid scheme, but the way they presented it was that you join up, you buy your products each month that you need, your cleaning products, your vitamins. They always got you on the good vitamins right away, right? And that was immediately you were spending on at least $100 a month on your own product, right? So that's where the sales is for your upline. That's where the sales was coming from. So they would train you to just find new partners, more people to build your downline. And I really, you know, that can be powerful. You weren't making money off the sign up. So if I signed up David and Wendy As a couple, I sign them up. They start doing business. I don't make any money off that sign up. That was the loophole. Ponzi scheme is you pay to get in to be a member, and you're upline up a certain amount. I'll get a cut of that money. That's the illegal Ponzi scheme. But when it comes to something like Amway or something like that, you sign up, and then each month you buy your product, I make a sales commission off your product. So that's where they found the loophole to make things like Amway work. And I wish instead of making me sell the opportunity, they first trained you to sell the product, to be an expert in the product. I got two favorite products from Amway. And my mother-in-law, who lives with us, she knows a Amway distributor, and she'll go buy the first product, which is the stain remover. My God, it is like this industrial toxic chemical that just smells like WD-40. I don't know, it might be WD-40 reformulized, right? And there's a hair on my nose. I'm sorry. This is so live typical. I'll try not to touch my face anymore. So, stain remover. It is an amazing product. I get stains on my shirts. I got all these colored collared shirts, polo shirts, and I get stains on them. I'm a messy eater, I'll admit it. I noticed on the video the other day, I made the afternoon video after lunch, and I dropped something on myself. I was like so humiliated. Well, the Amway stain remover is just an amazing product. I wish I was trained just to sell that Amway stain remover. They should have got me out door to door at business functions. I should have had my case of Amway stain remover, and I should have been just hustling to try to sell that one product. And then when they purchased it, I could just hand them my catalog for other products, and they could phone me if they wanted more products, right? I wish I'd have been trained on that one product. The other product, my God, I love this Amway product. The hard surface protectant. So you put it on hard surfaces, and it made it so it would seal it, and water would just bubble up on it, right? It would go into the bubbles and just roll off your windshield on your vehicle. Oh my God, it was magical. You were in the world's heaviest rainstorm, and that water would be just beating off as fast as possible. You're going buck 50 down the highway with your windshield wipers on high, and that water was just flying off, and you had no trouble. There was like no visibility issues. This was an amazing product. I wish I had been trained to sell these two products. And I wish, instead of centering on let's get more clients or let's get more downline, let's sign people up into the business, I mean, that seemed hard. These businesses I joined up, Amway, and then my upline switched to Melaleuca, and we all switched. Everyone in his downline switched. And, you know, when you got 100 people in your downline and you all switch, you're instantly a top performer, and you're making just amazing money. Meanwhile, those of us at the bottom who had maybe one person, we're still not making money. We're making $2 a month or something like that, because we're that one person who buys $50 worth of product. So I loved that setup. I just wish I got more sales training. Now, I paid attention, and I learned how to do the Amway presentation. Oh, I was good at it. I thought I was good at it. but I wasn't getting any signups. And all I was doing was annoying my friends and family uh, by doing this presentation, because it was kind of high pressure. All it was talking about, that presentation, I remember, it was a big whiteboard, and then you had this clip-on whiteboard that kind of extended out the top. Like it was, I don't even know how to explain it. Like it was another 30 centimeters or something out the top. And it had how much money you would make at each level. And during the presentation, as I talked about it, then I'd go up and add a number to try to impress people that this is how much money you can make with Amway, right? And I really enjoyed that. But nobody signed up. And I had no way of attracting people. I didn't know how. It was always that typical first thing you do. You write down all the names of all your friends and families, all your high school friends, all your friends, people you know from work. You just write down this massive list of people, and you get their phone numbers, and then you call them up and you say, hey, you want to come to this business meeting and learn about this business? Right. And of course, you couldn't say the word Amway, because at this point, Amway had already had a bad rap with the lawsuits down in the United States, and they won. They technically weren't a Ponzi scheme. But I believe Amway paid a lot of money to their, what's that when company hires someone to go to the government to tell them they're good. I forgot the word. There's more of them in Ottawa and in Washington, D.C. than actual politicians. But the word is gone. It's gone. Anyway, put it in the comments if you remember the word for this person that tries to influence the government, right? I think Amway paid a lot of money for that to get away with it. So, and just as I was in the middle of Amway, they came out with their online version, their online store. Oh, I can't remember what it was, like ClickStars or something like that. I can't remember. But again, that was their attempt to reinvent themselves to get away from the actual Amway name so that you could sell online. But again, they didn't teach me how to sell online. And after 20, 25 years, the marketing world has changed. It's been flipped on its head. The internet is changing things, and we're at another point where AI is changing things. And how do you deal with that sort of stuff, especially if you're just a little, a gig economy worker or side hustler? How do you get the market? How do you get the market share? And I always believe that your first job should be some sort of sales job. I never got a sales job. I started working at the family business. It was a laundromat. It was retail, right? I gave out quarters and chips and chocolate bars, and then I folded people's laundry. I grew up in the laundromat, and now and again I would dig the mud out of the car wash pit, which was attached to our laundromat. And that was my high school years, right? It was the family business. And my first real job was working at a hospital. And it was kind of a hard environment to work in, because when someone came in injured, especially a child or something like that, into the emergency room, I'd be working evenings and weekends at the hospital. So, there was the doctor's office in my small town was closed, and everybody just went to the hospital to see the doctor. So when you see the nurses running by crying, because they'd be working on somebody and the doctor would be back there with them, and they'd be running back and forth past the admin desk, the intake desk where I was sitting as the unit clerk doing basically paperwork, admin work. It was a hard environment to be in, and I was 18. And the best story about working at the hospital, this is back when we didn't have call display, so you didn't see the number. And I answered the phone. Hospital, you stab them, we slab them. And oh my God, it was the head nurse, my supervisor, who was calling me. Oh my God. I was so embarrassed. All she said was like, "Nice, Ian." On the phone, and I was like, "Oh God, this is terrible. This is terrible." So that was obviously I never wanted to work. That was my first experience. You're young, you're dumb, you say stupid things. But my first business was a taxi cab business, and I started that when I was 19 or 20. So I'd only been at the hospital less than a year, I think, and I started my business, so I quit the hospital. And when you start a business that young, you're not prepared for what you're dealing with. And it was an amazing learning experience. I'm very grateful I did it. But it was hard. It was really hard on me. And I made no money. Everyone was demanding more money, my drivers. And there was no money. I would shut down every Monday and have to drive to the next town and get the car serviced. Oil change, brake checks, and there was always something. Each week I was spending $500 to $1,000 on that car just to keep it going. The miles, the kilometers we put on it was insane. Just insane. So when someone's saying, "Oh, I need more money," I'm just like, there is no money. I've got no money. I didn't pay myself anything. I was living with family and wasn't paying rent or anything. I wasn't making no money. Everyone, I don't know, every time you start a business, people seem to think you're making money and they get jealous or treat you badly or something, right? And you're not making money. It's very hard to make money out there when you're doing the gigs and the hustles of starting your own business. So yeah, I did my taxi cab business for I think 18 months and spent the next 2 years after that paying off the loan I got for the business. And I was very grateful for that experience, but it was a very hard experience. I think during that time, I think that's why I moved over, and I'm like, I want to make this internet thing work. I want to do something online, but I didn't know anything, and nobody else knew anything either. This was all new technology. Nobody else knew how to make money online. We had the .com bubble. There's a few winners out of that, mostly losers, but everybody was learning how to make money on that. And I missed everything after that. I couldn't catch up online. Now, what am I doing? I'm going live on the internet. My God, this is crazy. So I've been watching a lot of Gary V videos, Gary Vaynerchuk. He's the CEO of VaynerMedia, and he's built all kinds of stuff. But he learned his advertising chops working for his father's business, the family business, which was a wine store. And I wish the family business, our laundromat, had taught me all the stuff that he learned, right? But there was no money to pay me to do advertising or spend time to learn. And I think Gary was just working in the liquor store and like behind the counter trying to do this marketing stuff. So I should have been doing the same thing, but you never know how. You don't know who to follow, who to ask, things like that. I'm going to take a drink. I might be getting a cold. My wife is starting to get sick, so I might be getting the same cold. So if I start sounding funny, you know why. My nose is running. I'm having troubles there. Anyway, we're talking about our gigs and side hustles. And I think, honestly, in my heart, I believe everybody should be working on some sort of side hustle, some sort of passion project. Or maybe you just hate being an employee, right? And you want to build something. But it is a long, hard game. Nowadays, you can, if you're doing good content, there's a chance that you could pop off right away and just go viral and start making money. There is a chance now to do it. Because you look, the proof is in your social media right now. You, for some reason, you followed some people and now you're noticing that you're not seeing their videos all the time. That's because you have trained the social media algorithm what you really like. You've liked certain videos, you've liked certain things. And that video, the content from the person that you're following isn't the same content. It's different. So it's not showing up anymore. So social media has switched. It's not the people I'm following, I'm seeing their content. It's the content I'm interested in. The algorithm, the AI, now knows what I really like to watch. So they're feeding me that. And if you're a small business or any business, now you're struggling and wondering why you're not getting certain views or as you used to. Even though you've got 1 million followers or more, 20 million followers, your videos aren't getting as many views anymore. And that's because your videos aren't being shown anymore. They're only being shown to people that have shown interest in what you have. The opposite side. And you're not going to know what's going to hit, what's going to go viral until it does. So what you have to do is just keep making content. And this is where I've given myself the challenge. I'm calling it the 333 challenge. I'm doing 3 posts a day for 30 days for 3 months. This includes weekends, holidays. I'm going to be doing 3 posts. And that's to help me build my business, which I could use a lot more money in my business, right? And I could certainly grow my business more. And I'm prone to exhaustion, and I'm prone to getting upset when my videos don't get 10 million views. But with the change of the internet. Sorry, I had my air conditioner on the whole time. I hope the volume wasn't terrible. I've turned it off. I'll try to keep it off. But like I mentioned earlier, I might start sweating to death. So, trying to get that consistency and finding the right content. I've spent years trying to learn how to do Google ads, Meta ads, and I keep failing. I can get people to sign up to free stuff, but I can't get people to purchase anything from me, whether it's an ebook I've written or a product I'm trying to market or a service I'm trying to market with through affiliate marketing. I've tried this for years and I just can't do it. I basically spent all my money multiple times maxing out credit cards thinking, oh, if I just spend a little bit more, I'm going to make some money, right? And it doesn't happen. And it's like, oh, but you got to get people into the funnel. So you got to build this long funnel. You know, there's an ad, there's an email sign up, then there's a product for sale. And now when they're on the email list, now you're selling them other related products, and you got to create this whole system. And the big money is made on the back end. So that's hard. That's hard for the little guy when, you know, I got to spend $1,000 to get 50 people onto my email list who might have got the free product or maybe only paid for like a $5 product or something, right? And then nothing after that, right? Like, oh my God, that's a faster way of going broke. So I still think paid ads have its place, but I'm listening to Gary Vee, and he says, let's market your stuff. And then anytime something, he says pop off all the time, anytime something goes viral, that's the one you pay a little bit of money. You got this amazing viral video. By viral, I don't mean millions of hits. I mean extremely more than you normally get. If all your videos on YouTube are getting 20 views in the first week, the one that gets 200, 400, 1,000 views, that's the one that just went viral. And that's the one that maybe you should spend some money on ads to get people to go watch that video. Because that's the content that people are interested in. And since we're in this world of content now, it's not about who you follow or who follows you. It's about the type of content you're putting out. So anytime you see a piece of content of yours that goes big, goes good, go spend a little money on it, right? That's where you're gonna really benefit. So instead of trying to make these fancy ads and spend money on these ads, you know, there's no proof. You don't have proof that this ad is going to work, but yet you're going to put a couple $1,000s into it over the next month or something like that, right? And that's just shooting in the dark, right? Running blind. You got no way of knowing if this is going to work. So content, building the content. Last year I joined this affiliate program, and it was selling courses that would help people get into a new career. So they were like career courses. Learn the basics of accounting and get a bookkeeper job, you know, in 30 days or whatever. You just had to take the courses. And of course you had to pay for the courses. But they had this now in hindsight, I'm saying, this amazing setup where they were teaching you exactly what you need to do. And they had several platforms, and I had recently gotten on to TikTok, and they told me create these videos, and they had like 100, 200 videos or something, and they're just like, create these videos and start posting them, right? And they had samples of what the post would like. So you would just do your version of it instead of, you know, some stock video. You'd be showing a video of yourself. Maybe you would be saying it, or you know, maybe there'd be just the captions on there of what's going on, and you're just looking concerned or whatever, right? And they had this step-by-step process that you were supposed to follow. And at that time, I thought it was just a bunch of hooey. I'm not going to do the same thing that everyone else is doing. And I was thinking, well, everybody in this company is going to be doing the same thing, so we're putting out the same content. So I don't think it's gonna work, right? And I'm just like, oh, I can do my own thing. Well, my own thing didn't work at all. Nothing worked. Of course, I made no sales for this affiliate program, and I didn't do anywhere near as much as I should have. I maybe did, I don't know, 0.5% to 1% of what I should have been doing. I should have, if you buy a McDonald's for the system, they've set up a system to make you rich. And I think that system's getting a little diluted because McDonald's itself wants to make their money and not their franchisees, right? But you buy a franchise for that system. If there's no system, then you shouldn't be buying that franchise, right? You have to go into it and you got to grill them. What's the system? How do I work this business? What has worked for 500 other locations or 500 other franchisees? What is the system, right? If you're paying $500,000, $1 million to get into some franchise, there better be a system, because that's what you're purchasing. So with this little affiliate program, I should have listened. They knew what was selling, and they were teaching it to their new affiliates. So I should have listened to the system. I don't know why I didn't. And we have a lot of gurus out there talking about their system, you know, their funnel that always works, you know. And I mean, I don't care if you have the best sales funnel in the world, that when one person goes through, you make like $1 million. I don't care if you have that system, that funnel. Well, what's on the front end? How are you getting people into that funnel? Right? That's where the marketing is. And that's where me as a small business owner, I'm just like, I am now a marketer. I ain't an HR consultant. I ain't an Indigenous Relations consultant. I'm a marketer. I'm marketing my business. This is why I'm on this live. This is why I'm doing the 333 challenge and posting 3 times a day. Because I'm now marketing. I'm thinking, I'm not going to get clients unless I market. So if I don't know. I feel like, again, I missed the boat. Because I could have grabbed any product or service or affiliate program. I could have grabbed any of them and just said, I'm just marketing this one thing, and I'm going to build the content and get followers. Or I guess it's not get followers anymore, but I wish I would have been at this place where I was getting followers. And I wish they could have just given me a step-by-step sales process, our marketing process, right? The sales is just send them to a link. But what am I marketing? What am I doing for the content? And I wish I had more of that. And there's a lot of advice out there that you got to keep on brand. You got to be exactly what your industry is, what your product is. You got to be exactly on brand. Well, then you don't get to experiment. Learn what gets people watching your videos. If you make a video about you tripping out your front step and dropping your pizza, I mean, it's got nothing to do with your business. In most cases, that's probably got nothing to do with your business, but it's funny. So 10 million people are going to see you trip and fall. And at the end of it, you stand up, I'm good, but you're covered in pizza, right? This video has nothing to do with your business. But now 10 million people have seen your video, and a large number of them, hopefully, have also clicked on your profile to go see who you are and what you do. And it would be nice if out of 10 million views, 1% of the people say, oh, I'm interested in this person. Maybe they follow you. Maybe they start seeing you. Maybe they'll watch all your content and they'll like it all. And then they've reprogrammed their algorithm so that whenever you make new content, they're going to see it. Right? And it's got nothing to do with your brand. You certainly should be thinking about branding sometimes and making sure people see your logo. Ta-da! LBH Business Services. LBH stands for Little Blue House. That's my website, littlebluehouse.ca. And you should certainly be doing some branding stuff. But it doesn't have to be all the time. It doesn't have to be like, we don't buy things from salespeople, really. We buy things we need, and we kind of put up with the salesperson, you know? So the salesperson should be the marketer. Here's what the product does, but buy now, you know, like I'm tired of all these marketing tricks. I just want to be an honest, open person and say, you know, I'm a good person. I know my stuff when it comes to HR and Indigenous Relations. Give me a chance. Hire me, you know, direct message me. Let's get a meeting going. That's what I want. But on the flip side, I also want to sell my ebooks. I want to make like a little bit of a steady income each month. You know, if I could sell this ebook right here, Stop Staff Drama Fast, 5 days in there. It's a 5-day plan laid out on what you should do to work with employee drama. And it's $7. It took me a couple days of work to put it together. And that's with a little bit of help from AI too. So, but if I could sell, say, I would like to make $2,000 a month from this book right here. So 2,000 divided by 7 means I gotta make 285 sales of this one book, right? And that to me seems, boy, that's a lot. Now, how do I do that? How do people trust me enough to think, oh yeah, you got some good stuff in your ebook, Ian. We're definitely gonna purchase it, right? Here's an AI image I created with this crazy staff members going crazy, right? And that's the base of it. If I could make $2,000 a month from just little things like this, and every now and again a little product like this comes up, someone who purchases it says, oh, okay, well, I do need more support, so I'm going to call Ian. Getting the client is where the big money is in consulting, but it's a roller coaster. If you're a small business or a consultant, you're trying to get as much level money as you can, right? You're guaranteed this much money each month, because if I get $5,000 client once a year, oh, you can't live on that. You can't live on that. So you're trying to get a lot of little money. And maybe once you get some traction or from this product. So from this product, I've advertised the next product. And the next product is my primary ebook I wrote, The People Problem Fix. And this is more in depth, and it is the longer term things you need to fix your people problems in your organization. And if you've got little problems and they're easy to fix, absolutely, $47, that's nothing. Now, can you imagine bringing in a consultant like me for $5,000 a month for the next 10 months to help you solve these problems, when all you needed was this $47 ebook? My God. That is an amazing savings. Just by purchasing this ebook, you're saving money. And nobody seems to understand that. So I always got to stress that. I'm just like, yeah, it's $47. I was trying to sell it for $97 and felt that was too high. I probably should have just kept it at $97. The time and energy I put into this, this is it's like version 9 of this ebook I've been creating for the last couple of years. And I put a lot of time in it, and I think I deserve to get some money off it. I deserve, I put my whole career into this. Imagine $47 instead of spending tens of thousands of dollars for an HR consultant. That's a good way to go, right? That is saving you some big money for your small to medium-sized business, because a small to medium-sized business with less than 99 employees, you've got no reason to be hiring a full-time HR person, right? So you can find some fractional HR consultants and things like that, but you're not getting that full-time person. The gigs, the side hustles, I've been doing that for a long time. And I want to show you, I'll get out of this, I'm going to demo mode, and I'm going to show you a screen. I'm going to share this window, not this window. I'm going to share this window. So this, how does it look on the screen? Looks all right. It's all right, I'll leave it there. This is Fiverr. This is a freelance gig company. And what you do is you sell your gigs. You sell services. Sometimes you can sell products on here too. It's a little more difficult, but you sell your services. And I'm selling multiple different services. I don't even remember what I got up there right now, but you've got these 3 levels to go through, and you need to make a certain amount of money and have a certain rating on the website. I've been on Fiverr. I don't even know. It doesn't even. I don't think it tells me how long I've been on the site, but it's been 4, 5 years, something like that, and that's where I've been. I'm on level 1. So in order to get to level 1, you need to sell $581.25 Canadian on the website. So I did that. And now I'm working to the next level to get me to level 2, which is $2,906.25 Canadian to progress to the next level. And that's taken a long time when your gigs are $5, $10, right? I've had 83 unique clients. I have 115 orders, and that's resulted in almost $2,300 I've earned off this website, and that's over 5 years. So it's slow. Now imagine if you could actually, if you had something that was in demand, you could search and find it. Let's see. I'm going to switch to buying. Oh, look, pick off where you left off. These are my gigs. Of course, you can see my face here. And it's showing this because I've looked at my own gigs, so it's telling me these are gigs you're interested in, right? And oh, here's some more that I looked at. But you go in here and you can see what's trending. I can click just on trending services, right, in each of your areas. And you want to look, can you do any of this stuff? Is any of this stuff something that you're related to? This is trending stuff. You know that you're going to get a few more hits if you're offering these services. Resume writing. Right? These are the things that people are searching for. And let's see something. Well, let's just look at social media management right now. These people want to manage some or all of your socials, and they're starting off at a certain price. These are $200, $400, $8. I don't know what they're doing there. Invite you to best Pinterest group or social media manager, Fiverr, be your expert social media manager, right? And these people know that you have to really work your social media to get sales. These people know it, and they know how to do it. So look at this, top rated people. These are pros across the top. That's why they're charging so much more. I'm on LinkedIn. So let's see if we can look at just LinkedIn. See, there's 7,888 people that have some sort of gig related to social media management and LinkedIn. So let's apply that. Let's see what the top people are. See, that lady's still up top. And some of these people will do all the socials. They might be using special programs to help them post to more than one or whatever, but they've learned it. So I kind of like Fiverr. Let's see, seller details. So we can decide on the level they're on. See, there's a lot of new sellers. These people have not sold more than $500-600 in services on here, right? So you look at them. So let's just look at the top rated sellers. LinkedIn, right? Social media management, LinkedIn, top rated seller. These people are making money doing social media management. They are making good money. And these people all top rated. Let's look at this. Let's look at one of them. One that's just LinkedIn, but content design, oh fancy. Your business social media manager. Let's go with her. Let's have a look. We're looking at her gig. Oh, you got it. 10% off the first order. So she's got a bonus there. Showing 10%. Look at this. She sold this. Or no, this is just likes. 665 reviews. So at a 4.9. 665 reviews. Only people that have purchased your gig can make a review on your gig. These are only people that have purchased it. So if we look at 665 people, not everyone leaves a review. Not everyone gets an opportunity to leave a review. And I'm just checking to see if anyone's asked any questions. So when you look at this, 665 views. I got my calculator here. Let's say she's always given this 10% bonus off, and it's always cheap like this. So let's say 665 people times $261.56, and this is Canadian, equals, she has made $173,000. $173,000 on this gig. Now, she could have started out selling this gig for much cheaper. It could be could have been $5, right? She could have got her first 20 orders for $5. She really, so there's a chance this isn't 173,000. This is maybe 50,000 that she's made off this, because she's just been slowly increasing her price over the last few years as she gets these orders done. Look at this. There's 7 orders in her queue right now. So there's a good chance 7 people, 7 times $261.56 have purchased at that price. She has $1,830.92 currently in line waiting, because she's currently helping a different client right now. So she's got a wait list. And the key here is to start low prices and slowly increase the price as it happens, right? And there's always different options. This is one platform, 30 days. So she's charging $261 for 30 days worth of her work. And then she's got the standard $385 on 2 platforms, also for 30 days. And then premium, because she says here, 3 platforms. She can do more. Sorry, I got a burp or hiccup or something going on there. But $647. We don't know. All 7 of these people could have purchased the big one. 7 times $647.37. She could have $4,500 waiting for her to get done. Would you like $4,500 waiting for you? But the key is, when you're starting on something like a gig for Fiverr, you start low. And you build up those reviews and customers. Maybe some of them return, stuff like that. But what else is she doing? She's a social media expert selling her social media skills. How do you think she's marketing that gig? Probably through her social media, right? She herself is posting multiple times a day, every day, using every social media trick she has to attract followers and people viewing her content. And all she has is just a link in her profile to her Fiverr page where all her gigs are, right? And it's free to use Fiverr. Set up Fiverr. You don't pay a monthly fee for being on Fiverr or anything like that, or to join up or to start selling. They make their cut when the sales happen. They charge additional fees and make a cut. So actually, I don't think they're taking a cut. They're just charging more fees. So if you're trying to sell a product for $5 Canadian, it's showing up as $7 and change on the website. So they're making an extra $2.50 or whatever on top of you. And that's fine. They're doing their business. You're trying to do your business, right? The cost of doing business. But they don't really cut into your profits, because you say, I want to make $5 to do this service for somebody, and that's what you get. But Fiverr adds money on top, so it makes it seem like it's more expensive. So when you're thinking about a product, think about maybe going that $5 increment just a little bit lower, just so it doesn't look as expensive. If you get a product that's, $150 or something like that, and you want to make $150 off it, well, it's going to show up as $175. All of a sudden, it's nearing $200, and it's seems expensive. So Fiverr kind of forces you to lower your prices a little bit. But Fiverr is great because they handle all the payments. You don't have to do anything. Just you request money to get sent to your PayPal or whatever service you're using to accept money. And that's easy for somebody starting off. And I think once you start making a lot of money, you could move away from Fiverr and other services like that and do your own thing. Start building your own website. Now, when you look at, I had popped up those QR codes for my eBooks. Both of those are going to my own website. And I've spent lots of money over the years maintaining my website. So I'm trying to use it. So that whole $7 or that whole $47, that's going right to me. There is a little bit of fees that comes off as it gets transferred to my PayPal, but that's fine. Again, that's cost of doing business. But I have control over the website and how it looks and how it feels and things like that. So I'm not I'm not sharing clients, but I sometimes you think, oh, but there's all kinds of other people doing the same thing I'm doing on that website. Well, those people are making money. It's proven that they're making money. I think about food trucks. We're watching the great food truck race. We started from season 1 here a few weeks back. And they're proving that if you get more than one food truck together, they attract way more people and both food trucks make more money. So they're always trying to partner with another food truck, usually one that's different from what they're doing. You know, one's a waffle truck and one's a steak truck, right? Totally different. So they're not stealing each other's customers, but they are attracting more people because they're grouped together. And think about the food court at the local mall. You got 50 food stores. You could go in, you get a piece of chicken from KFC, you get a taco from Taco Bell, you get a hot dog from New York Fries, you get an Orange Julius from Dairy Queen, and that's your lunch because you got just this crazy assortment of things, right? And everybody loves that. So where are we? We went through Fiverr. Somebody's chatting. Oh, look. Michael Curry says, "Hey, Ian." I just pointed you out. Oh my God. So Michael's sitting there watching me. Oh, add the block list. No. Let's see if I can say hi. I don't know if this thing works. Anyway, that my hi will probably show up on YouTube, but not on LinkedIn. It's very strange, but I don't know. I'm enjoying the program anyway. And I can also show all of these up here. And it says host, but it's coming up as restream.io. Right? I don't know how to change that. Maybe I gotta learn how to change that. I don't know if I can change that. I am paying for this program, so maybe I should be able to change it. But anyway, doing the gigs, trying to get people to your product. That's the key. That's what you got to learn. What you got to learn to do. And I don't know how to get rid of the chat now on the screen. So I go back to chat. Oh, I gotta click on the individual hide. Anyway, learning. And whatever business I think you're in, I think you just need to post more. If it's a gig, if it's a side hustle, you need to post more. I talk about Gary Vee, and I always mention Gary Vee because he's one of them gurus out there that's no nonsense. He's not messing around. He tells you the way it is. He doesn't make money from sharing his knowledge. He makes money from the big customers that hires his company. Like Coca-Cola will hire him to do a marketing thing, right? And he's billing out $5,000 a month or whatever, right? That's where he makes the money. He doesn't make the money giving away his free stuff, but it makes his brand. It builds his brand. It creates awareness, but he's not directly making money from it. And I think that's more of us need to think about that. If you got a side business, you got a side gig, just post more about it. And it suddenly seems like work. Going live every day now from 11:30 to 1:30. I'm trying, and it's work. I feel like I'm working, but I'm also having fun because I'm talking about stuff I'm interested in, stuff I want to do. And it's strange. because my work is now marketing. So I want to answer HR questions. I want to answer questions about Indigenous relations. I want to answer actual customer questions, but I don't get them. And hopefully by the end of this 3-month period, I am getting some questions, getting some participation, and we'll see. This is the great experiment, because I'm broke and there's no way I can pay for ads. And I think a lot of people, the idea was you're starting your gig or your side hustle to make some extra money. So you think, I got this product, I got this service, I got this affiliate program, I whatever, I got this arts and craft thing that I'm doing, whatever it is. That's great. You're an expert in that. But how do you sell it? How do you do that? And that comes down to basically building that brand and advertising. And excuse me, now I'm burping. Social media is free. It's not costing me any actual money to do this. Wow, I lie. I paid for the restream.io so I could get a few more bells and whistles and change things, right? But I could have been just recording more videos and posting them. I try to record 2 videos a day, and I try to do 1 text with an image photo. I'm behind on those. Nothing showed up yesterday or today. I've got to spend some time building a whole bunch more. I'll batch build them. I'll build like 7 to 10, and then I'll schedule them on LinkedIn, and they'll come out automatically, and that's awesome. But where was I? I forgot what I was talking about. Well, that's probably okay. It's probably okay. I was probably rambling. I think this is good for me, because I find myself just rambling about stuff. And I think as long as I stay on topic, it might be good. Marketing, going live. Gary Vee is like, post more and go live. Post more and go live. And something on social selling now. He's pushing an app called Whatnot, and it's basically an online garage sale, right? And you can go around your house and just grab stuff and sell it online, and it's just live. It's like the TV home shopping network stuff, right? They're like, oh, this amazing product, you could be doing that, just talking about stuff, right? I keep seeing my book behind me, and if I'm talking about it, then I can say, look, you can find it on Amazon. 21 things you may not know about the Indian Act, $19.95 on Amazon right now. Go buy it, right? And that's the QR code to the link. That's an affiliate link for me. Anytime I pop up something on the screen here and it's got the QR code for you to go visit, it should, in some places, it pops it into the comments also, so you get to see it there, and there's a link, depending on the social media. But anytime I pop up something, that's an affiliate program for me or something. So if you purchase this right now, I'll probably make 50 cents. And I'm just going to pop it up. And I think the last thing I want to talk about is the AI. I think AI can really help small business owners and people running their side gig and hustling. I really think you should invest some time in learning AI. whether it's just ChatGPT. I have trained ChatGPT to be my human resources manager assistant. So when someone asks me a question, I'm thinking, okay, well, I can answer that, but can I get more information, more detail? And I type that same question into ChatGPT. It knows me. It knows all my experience. It's read my ebook I've created, so it knows the things that I'm trying to teach people. And I've had it research online more stuff. And now I'm typing this in and I'm getting a better, fuller question or answer, to the question. And I'm saving time. I am saving us just a ton of time with using some sort of AI. And I think about career coaches, and ChatGPT helps me every time I apply for a job. I see a good HR manager job that I want, especially if it's in a nonprofit sector. It knows me, and I copy and paste in my it knows my resume already. I copy and paste in the job ad, and I type in, hey, write me a cover letter for this job. And it does. It takes 30 seconds. And now I've got this draft cover letter. And you can just put it into the Word doc, make any changes you want. Usually there's formatting issues, and sometimes it's using American English instead of British English. So words like color doesn't have a U in it. And so you got to go in and you got to check stuff like that. But I think I just haven't taken the time to say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm in Canada, so use Canadian English or British English, right? I think I can do that. So I just haven't taken the time to try to do it. And it's just so amazing. And if you don't know it, go grab this book. It might help you with your career coach stuff. But today is all about gigs and things. I don't really have anything to show you gig-wise. But we'll go back to Pump Up the Volume because I was excited about the music. I think there's so many ways that you could use AI. Some of the tools are free. Some of them aren't free. But I think a lot of them have a free version that you could go learn and try out. And of course, YouTube, there's a ton of videos now on how to use AI for things. And if you can help it or use it to help you create your social media posts, then you're laughing. You train it to become an expert in whatever you're trying to sell, and train it to know you, train it things you've written, previous content you've written, train it, it gets to know you. You ask it to ask you questions to learn more about you. It'll give you a list of questions that you need to answer. Sorry, I'm burping again. Something in my throat. I'll drink the water. So it's such an amazing tool. The text posts I use, I've got one chat set up where it knows the HR topics. It's geared to create posts that will get people interested in my ebooks. That's what it's doing. So you see those posts and it's topics from my ebook. And that's what I'm writing about. And now I can start making it write about the topics of my lives, my live streams, right? And it's so quick because you're like, hey, I need 7 new posts about this topic that you haven't given me before. and it writes them out. And it's like, here's some posts to go along with how you blah 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 and XYZ, and how in your tone of voice and all that stuff, right? And it's like, oh, amazing. Go in, double check the editing, double check that there isn't some language you wouldn't use, right? There's always that caveat. You always got to go double check it. But even if you don't double check it, you're still getting content. And maybe if there's something funny about it, maybe someone will comment and say, hey, this is lame, this is stupid, you did something wrong. And you'd be like, oh, hey, thanks for commenting. Because the idea is that they commented. All of a sudden they're commenting on your stuff, and you're getting more views and getting more people interested. So even if there is a mistake, don't worry about it. And I'm learning more and more that you don't have to stay on brand as much, because you've got to experiment to see what people are, what's attracting people to your industry, or what's attracting people to your platform, to your profile, things like that. So being able to go a little bit back and forth. And I think about my Friday live. I haven't gone live on Friday yet, but it's just fun and games. I'm going to talk about fun and games. I'm going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to talk about Magic the Gathering. I'm going to talk about some of my favorite board games. I may even talk more about movies. So we might, I don't know, maybe we'll talk more about Pump Up the Volume. It's not a game movie, but anyway, it's still a movie. Because there's always movies related to fun and games. We might talk about books. Maybe I got some great marketing books or self-help books that I've read in the past that are just kind of amazing. And you got to read them like every year or else you'll forget. But so Friday's going to be a little more exciting. I think maybe it's going to be way off topic. It's not going to be HR related. It's not going to be career related. It's going to be just fun and games. So I want to give a shout out to Michael for commenting. Great. I wish he had asked a question. But I think I might be shutting it down soon, because I don't see any questions coming in. Let's see what's coming up. Just check in. Nothing there. Nothing here on YouTube. I'm just refreshing the pages to see if they show anything. But yeah, so we'll talk more next week. Have your gig ideas out. Let's talk about them. You have an Amway experience, go ahead, mention it. We'll talk about Amway. Yeah, I'm hot. I gotta turn the air conditioner back on. So I think I'm gonna let you go. I think we're at about an hour and 34 minutes or something right now, or 32 minutes, I don't know. Whatever. 25 minutes. An hour and 20 minutes probably. So I'll let you go. We'll talk tomorrow. Get your questions. Tomorrow is Career Club. So we're going to be talking more specifically careers, jobs, resumes, job search stuff, just how terrible the job search market is right now, and those sorts of things. So come on out for that. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.